Legacy of Kain, Soul Reaver 2 is filmed in front of a live studio audience. Well, mostly alive. Well, some of them started to smell too badly just yet. Hey there guys, welcome back. Playing Soul Reaver 2. Or as my recording software insists on labeling it whenever it saves a video, Santa Rider 2. And I prefer not to think too badly, or too closely rather, about exactly what my recording software thinks I'm playing. If I'm being judged by softwares, then oh well. Google does it all the time, so like it's new. I know, topical. And I finally figured out how to swim on the surface of water as well. It's a very solid line between the two areas of the map there. That's how I like my water textures. Clear and indivisible lines. Just ask FromSoft's B team. They know all about that. But yeah, it turns out if you even slightly touch the mouse, the game interprets as you wanting to dive to the bottom of the ocean, and will attempt to make Raziel do just that. And good, the doors are closing. I don't see why. I mean, admittedly, French, I'm having to render the map outside, but I'm indoors now, so I'm not going to see it anyway. Oh well. Hey there, buddy. That's a very lovely sword you've got there. Do you mind if I just quickly stab you a few times with this marshmallow wafer? Take your sword instead. Because it's embarrassing to die from your own weapon. Well, from a mate's weapon is better, so yeah. He lost his head, but he's here in spirit. And now he's gone. Yeah. I've been looking forward to doing this actually. Because I tend to record so much in one go, I actually tend to have weeks where I just don't record anything. Ladies, please, one at a time. Raziel's a monogamous kind of a murderer. Well, I suppose I deserve that. That's not me from killing all of you, but, you know. If you just go away and leave me alone, I mean, I'm not even a vampire. Well, I am, just not the kind you've got to worry about normally. Yeah, dodging like a pro. Ah, it didn't work. I still got stabbed in the kidney anyway. Anyhow. Where was I? Actually, I've genuinely forgotten. We're going to be going through this. There's going to be a lot of forced combat in this. Which is, yeah, that's what we all came here for, right? Yeah, it's a lot of these sections I just can't walk past where I'm going to be forced to redo this. There's nothing like delaying the backtracking through pre-existing areas with unskippable, not particularly fun combat. I'm going to try and avoid ripping on Soul Reaver 2's combat. Yeah, I'm still baffled by the decision to make this one a primary focus. Like, it's the kind of decision where I take it probably wasn't made by fan feedback or by people who, you know, actually played and worked on the game. It strikes me as the kind of decision you get from your, you know, the up and ups. It's like, oh, the game with the combat didn't seem to sell really well, so let's emphasise that part in the sequel. Maybe that's not what the fans of the original game actually enjoyed. Beautiful smile you've got there, Raziel. Hey, lady. Oh. Ow. Dodging. No. Why are you dodging that? There we go. It's surprisingly difficult to do as well. It's like, which direction Raziel dodges in is at least partially based on your camera position. Which means the keys don't always take you in the direction you think you're about to go. Sometimes they don't react at all, which I'm not entirely certain if that's the game's fault or like my keyboard is just cheap and crappy and it's not registering properly. He's dead, Jim. Red with tan. He's bleeding an unfashionable color.
Show yourself, Kain. Here.
Please,
Raziel.
somebody get me a tailor.
Everything is decided here. You cannot comprehend the magnitude, the rapture and the tragedy of this moment. And yet you must, if Nosgoth is to be dragged from the wreckage of its damnation. I understand only this, Kain.
Somewhere Babe trembles.
That you and
the
Mobius
amount
have
of ham on
impelled
the
me to
screen.
this moment simply means I can trust neither of you. I
don't know who's pulling the strings, but it no longer matters, because I'm cutting them. I set my own course from here.
Yeah, I'm a
It were
puppet boat.
only that simple.
Your fatalism is tiresome, Kain.
And profoundly ingrained, Raziel. You must understand, our presence here doesn't alter history. You and I meet here because we are compelled to. We have always met here. History is irredeemable. Drop a stone into a rushing river. The current simply courses around it and flows on as if the obstruction were never there. You and I
Not if it's a big enough stone.
Raziel,
Dams are a thing.
and have even less hope of disrupting the time stream. The continuum of history is simply too strong, too resilient. Except, then how do we explain William here? The beloved boy king turned tyrant. In my youth, I witnessed William's rise to power and his transformation into the nemesis who laid waste to Nosgoth.
Keep your distance, Kain.
Years later, I stumble upon a chance to journey back in history, unaware that the entire affair has been carefully orchestrated by Mobius. In my wisdom, I seize this opportunity to murder the young king before he can ravage Nosgoth, and thereby
regicide.
provide the catalyst Mobius needs to ignite a genocidal war against our race.
I warn you, no further.
This one reckless act unravels the skein of history. The nemesis never becomes the nemesis. William dies a martyred saint. I, the vampire assassin, become the author of my own species' extinction, and Mobius profits from it all. I destroyed a tyrant only to create one far worse. But how can it be so?
You know, it sounds like it could be dialogue from a Resident Evil game, doesn't it?
History is immutable. The answer is here in this room, Raziel. Mobius propelled William and me together, but ensured first that we were both armed with the Soul Reaver. The Reaver is the key. Two incarnations of the blade meet in time and space. A paradox is created, a temporal distortion powerful enough to derail history.
Wibbly wobbly timey wimey.
Not mine, Raziel. Yours. You have nothing to fear from me, Raziel. You hold all of the cards.
Be deeply suspicious of anyone who says that. Probably means they've got a secret ace.
Then perhaps I should test your sincerity. If what you say is true, you should be terrified. I could kill you here and now.
Cut him like soft cheese, Raziel.
Raziel.
What's happening?
We're hurtling towards our destinies, Raziel. What you feel is the pull of history rushing to meet us. This is where history and destiny collide. If you truly believe in free will, Raziel, now is the time to prove it. Kill me now, and we both become pawns of history, dragged down the path of an artificial destiny. I was ordained to assume the role of Balance Guardian in Nosgoth, while you were destined to be its savior. But the map of my fate was redrawn by Mobius, and so in turn was yours. This is madness! Fight it, Raziel. This moment does not have to be an ending. It can become a prelude. I can't. You can, Raziel. Look inside and see that it is so. You have the power to reshape our inevitable futures.
Search for the hero inside yourself, Raziel. Search for the hero you hide.
Poor William.
Stabbed twice with the same blade. Even as a corpse, he can't get no respect. Then again, he did use a dress to track
History
you.
abhors a paradox, Raziel. Even now, the time stream strains to divert itself, finding its old course blocked by your refusal to destroy me.
What do I say about
future is
boulders and dams?
reshuffling itself to accommodate your monumental decision. This is where we restore ourselves, Raziel, and reclaim our intended destinies. It may yet be possible for me to assume my role as Balance Guardian and return the pillars to their rightful inheritors.
To the vampires. And this is the destiny you have urged me to discover. I don't know what game you and Mobius are playing, Kain, but I refuse to be your pawn. Unlike you, I still revere whatever shred of humanity I've managed to preserve. You will not use me as the instrument of your messianic delusions.
Very well, Raziel. I'll not ask you to trust me. Your truths are for you to discover alone.
Humble words for one who presumes to teach me a lesson at every turn.
Then continue your journey and learn your own lessons, Raziel. Remember, Mobius led you here, but you walk away unfettered. A champion of free will, and conqueror of false histories. There is much more for you to unearth, if you have the heart for the truth, and the will to see it.
Well, we just learned a whole lot in one go, didn't we? Yeah, that was the thing that happened. Hero of Destiny. Puppet no more. But first, we need to get out of here. There's no more we can do in this world, so we can take out a sunlight powered game to the time streaming chamber and go on sort of a backpacking tour around all of history. We're going to find ourselves. And based on the dialogue from this game so far, you know it's going to be just as pretentious as it sounds. I'm going to thoroughly enjoy every damn second of it. Let's pick this up. It'll be easier than trying to wield the sunlight blade that wants to kill me. Damn it, stop it, stop it, stop it. There we go. Teamwork. It'd be nice if I could get an attack in. That'd be a novelty. She only allowed me to attack because she whiffed her swing. Oh well. Never mind, never mind. There's plenty left to do, plenty left to murder. Speaking of which, I think this is one of the rooms where I kind of have to kill them all to progress, so yeah, we're going to do that as quickly as we can with the game dodging every swing I take. Oh hey look, it's a picture of Tom Hiddleston. Marvel's got some explaining to do. Who are you calling a beast? Oh rude, you've not heard me speak. Raziel is many things, but a beast is not one of them. How much damage do you bloody take? Stop stabbing me in the sternum. At least add some variety. He's not going to kill me either way. He's not for very long, but at least add some novelty. Okay, can I? Yeah, thank you. Can I pick this up? What did you? You've been all around in a circle. I mean, don't get me wrong. I appreciate your commitment to the cause and all. Weird. Yeah. I've noticed as well. It's really difficult to throw them off the scent, or like jumping over the top of them and stuff in mid-combat. They still just spin round and smack you in the face. Oh well. Where the hell am I going? That guy's written something offensive on his sword. Where the vampire's like, oh my word! You could believe it too, considering the way that all the vampires in this game speak. That's like exactly the reaction. Monstrous countenance or not. Okay. I'm keeping half an eye on the time as well, because I don't have long to record today. It's kind of ironic. I recorded like an hour and a half, 2 hours, in like the last part. And I've been parsing that out as I go, kind of thing. Yes. And today's been the first time I've recorded in ages. And I have very little time. So we're just coming off the back of Halloween and Bonfire Night, actually. Here in the UK. So I'm having to be certain I've got all my recording done by a certain time. Because we have, let's say, Bonfire Night, Halloween, plus the festival of Diwali, which is quite common here. It's a Hindu festival, Sikh festival. I can't believe I can't actually remember. Anyway, point being, we essentially have fireworks every night for the better part of 3 weeks, possibly an entire month, because of this combination of festivals and events, which makes recording as an LP an absolute bloody nightmare at this time of year. If you have to be able to record during the day, which I'm very rarely able to do except on weekends. What was that noise? Resil, please stop critiquing the masonry and please attack the enemy. Yeah, there's a noticeable delay as well. If you hit lock on and instantly try and attack, Resil will just swing wildly in whatever direction you were previously facing. You have to actually wait, there you go, a good second and a half, maybe longer, for him to finish pivoting. I'm losing the power of speech, it's not a good start. Finish pivoting towards your enemy before you actually start pushing the attack button. This is no Dark Souls where you can just click, lock on, and then swing away. Ladies, please, I'm trying to murder the pup. It's got an axe for a face, it has to die. Plus it will literally jump at me every 5 seconds unless I kill it. Won't do a lot of damage, but it will prevent me from actually attacking any of you, which, you know, props to it for protecting its mistresses would be the right word, wouldn't it? It would make my life a lot more difficult. Ow. Please stop. Game, please. Kind of what I was saying earlier, where you can't tell what direction you're going to dodge until you try and do it, which is wildly unhelpful. I suppose I could get around it by locking on and then just doing a few tests to see which way Raziel moves. But if I do that and he like dodges towards an enemy, that again doesn't help me. Ow! Throwing your balls in my face. Not into that. Okay, I think it's a gym so they can block, dodge, attack faster than you. And these guys, in case, have a ranged attack on top of all that as well. I don't think that's particularly balanced enemy design in my particular opinion. And it gets even more egregious later on when you've got enemies that can take like a third of your health off in a single swipe. They're larger and usually got a bigger hitbox. And they like insta-block everything you try and do unless you counter it. So you have to dodge and counter attack to do any damage to them. And they've still got this nonsense of being able to do every attack and every swing faster than you can. I think the only attack you can do in this game that's faster than the enemy attacks is like the sprint towards and then stab them. So you can see me attempt to do it here and failing because of the... Why are you randomly attacking the door? Yeah, because the way the mechanics work. A lot of times when you can't get it to trigger, which doesn't help. Otherwise it will just stand there instead and eat an attack to the face. I probably should try experimenting with some more of the blast attacks as well. They were useful for getting enemies at least out of the way, if nothing else.
Ah, yes. I like
the first
that
game.
look on your face, Mobius. You really don't know what to do now, do you, old man? Here you are, caught without your damn staff.
Oh my.
Things aren't progressing quite as you'd hoped. You're not used to the fly turning to confront you in your web, are you?
Kain's devious influence has poisoned your mind, Raziel. Now you see betrayal everywhere, even in your closest allies.
We were never allies, Mobius.
He was faking all along.
Briefly.
Why did you not kill Kain when you had the chance? He was at your mercy.
Precisely. I had a choice, and I chose mercy. And now I know your sordid little secret. The significance of that displacement I felt when the two Reavers came together. Strangely enough, I was enlightened by the devious Kain, not by you. In fact, I've learned much more than you counted on. I understand now how you've tried to manipulate all of history for your own personal gain. But now all your little schemes are whirling in ruin around you, aren't they? All because I chose to exert my will for once, rather than obey the demands of sorcerers and spirits and demons, all singing the same tiresome refrain, "Kill Kain." I'm setting my own path from here, Mobius. I intend to discover the truth behind all of this.
But you condemn us all with this impetuous act.
Oh my god, your hands are huge.
Hardly impetuous. It took all the will I could muster. Has my refusal to kill Kain reshuffled your carefully stacked deck of cards?
You really think that you're exercising your free will, Raziel? You're simply Kain's servant.
I do not serve Kain. I merely did not kill him.
Raziel, do not forget your purpose here. You are destined to be the savior of Nosgoth.
Oh, I'm sick of hearing that particular phrase. As for saving Nosgoth, so far I see precious little reason to bother. And I'll choose my own purpose from here on out, Time Streamer. Right now, I choose to manipulate you for a change. Go. In there.
What are you doing?
Come now, Mobius. You're a cunning serpent. You'll piece it together, I imagine. This error is of no further use to me. You will operate this device to provide me passage. I want to see the world in a simpler time, before the Sarafan began their crusade.
And what about Kain? You're leaving your core behind.
You kill him if it's so damned important.
You need only touch the two poles of the switch, and the device will transport you. But I urge you to reconsider.
You've lost your powers of persuasion, old man. Rot here and forget me.
Now there's a face you can trust. Okay. Myself and Raziel will see you next time when we go back to the future. Or the past. Whichever. See you around, folks.